Hi friends and welcome to the VRC with Harpreet Kaur Dhodi. Today's topic is mock tests and what are the frequently asked questions. Yes, many students have doubts regarding what is it that you do with mock tests, how to handle them, what is the progress one can make and why are they so demotivating. So I'm going to be discussing all these questions in today's video. So please stay with me and watch what I have to say. My name is Harpreet Kaur Dhodi. I've done a master's in English literature. I have a diploma in journalism. I have 17 years of teaching experience. I've trained students for exams like the CAT, MAT, XAT, SNAP, PGCET, Banking, GRE, GMAT, SAT, ACT and TOEFL. My Telegram channel is given to you here. It is Harpreet Ma'am Unacademy CAT. So you can join me if you need any kind of information. There are many batches, guys, starting on the 6th of October, 9th of October. There are 2 batches which are starting, so it is time to enroll. And whenever you decide to enroll, guys, please use Core 10 in order to get a good deal of benefits. Plus subscription is also there for the benefit of students, 6 months, 18 months and 24 months. You also have a great deal of discounts on each one of them and all the prices are listed for you here. Again, reminding you, if you use Core 10, you will get a 10% discount. And then we move to the iconic subscriptions. We have 6 months, 12 months and 24 months subscription. In the iconic, guys, you have the benefits, all the benefits of the plus you have doubt solving sessions, live concept discussion, mentorship and slots which can be booked according to your convenience. Again, use Core 10, you will get a 10% discount. Unacademy Combat happens every Sunday. All you need to do is to scan on this particular code. Again, you can join the test at 12 p.m. every Sunday and you can unlock by using code Core 10. There are many scholarships to be won starting from rank 1 to 200. So coming to the main topic of today, guys, we are talking about mock tests and what are the frequently asked questions. The first thing that I'm going to be discussing today is when to start taking the mock. Now, when you should start taking the mock is right from the start. Yes, the day you start your preparation for the CAT itself, you should be taking the first mock test, and the mock test is really not a test of your skills, but it is more like a diagnostic test. Just like you go for a lab in order to check what are your parameters as far as your health is concerned. Similarly, a diagnostic test will be a mirror. It is a reflection of what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, where do you stand as far as this particular competitive exam is concerned, what is the relative importance of each of the sections. It also gives you, as I said, a mirror or a feedback to what are the areas that you know and what are the areas you need to work upon. And it is also a good idea because you're standing there right in the field and you're trying to understand what is your reach and how far you can go and how competitive you are and what is it, the level of effort that you need to put in. And also it forces you to look at areas which you probably are not good at. So you're forced to answer and take a test on even the areas that you are not good at. So somebody likes DILR but does not like to do BARC and vice versa. It forces you to take those particular sections. So these are going to be the various benefits of the mocks. So that is why you will start with the mock test. The first test that you take is a mock test when you start preparing for the examination. So I assume that at this point of time, when we are in the month of October, we are already past this stage. I hope you have already started taking your mocks, but this is for the benefit of those students who are probably taking the exam next year or whether you're taking this year, guys. It depends on what point of preparation you are at. So what can you do and when should you be start taking it is that is going to be the start of your preparation, and henceforth you are going to be very regular in taking the examination. So what you can do, guys, having taken the diagnostic test and having finished with the basics, you should have done a whole lot of sectional tests. And then the sectional tests are the ones which will prepare you to do PYQs. And once you have done all the PYQs and you have an understanding of the past year's papers and you know what is it that you need to do, then you are good. So the mock test is a check, and it is a very, very crucial point, and it also helps you to determine what is going to be your target percentile. So this answers the first question that we have here. The next is, how do you analyze the mocks? Now the best way to analyze the mocks, guys, is to create a matrix for yourself. So this is a chart that you're going to put up on your pin board. On your study desk, if you have a pin board, see that you have a chart that is put up like this. What is it that you're going to write here is, first of all, you can write the number of mocks that you are taking, so that you know that how many mocks you are taking. I have known of students in the past few years who have taken at least 35 to 40 mocks before the CAT examination. Now, I'm not saying that this is mandatory or this is what you have to take, but definitely if you want to see an emerging trend, this is very, very subjective, depends from students to students. If there is a student, he needs to work very hard, then this is what he needs to put in. But if you are already able to achieve what you are targeting at your pass the percentile score, maybe a very intelligent student does not need to take as many tests. So I will leave it to the student to gauge how far he needs to go and how many mocks that he needs to take. So you will do what you will write down here. What is your overall percentile? Then you will say what is your sectional percentile, right? Then you can write down what are your scores in VARC, LR, DI, and what are your attempts. Attempts rate is also something that you need to put on, and your lastly accuracy. So these are the things that you're going to make note of, guys. So see that you have all this in place, and once you start writing down this for every test, you have to see an upward emerging trend. So this will give you a very, very clear picture which is right in front of you. It is a visual reminder to tell you what you need to improve, what are the areas of improvement. It also will give you a motivation on which are the areas you're doing well, which are the areas you're not doing well, and if you're not working hard or not doing good on one particular area consistently, like there are some students are not doing well with RC at all, right from the beginning till the end, then what is it that you need to do, because RC is a huge chunk of the VARC section. So it gives you a picture, and it also gives you an overall understanding of what you are going to do in the coming mocks and how you can improve your strategy, how you can examine what are the areas that you need to work. Should you start with RC first? Should you start with the verbal ability first? Again, this is a knowledge which only is subjective. Some students are good at RC, some are good at VA. So whatever is your strong area is what you need to normally start with. So that is what you need to do. And then you will also do what is known as topic wise, analysis. Right, so when you have an overall analysis, then you also have to look at what are the topics that you are good at, and what are your target topics, and what is it that you need to work on also. Now, sometimes there are concepts which you are likely to go wrong with, right? In geometry, there are many, many theorems, and maybe you're not good with the theorems, or you're not applying all the theorems, so you need to practice and revise the theorems. In VARC section, again, subjective questions are something you are not able to answer while you're good with data-based questions. So what is it that you need to improve? How do I answer questions which are based upon accept questions? Am I able to do application questions? Am I able to do what is known as tone-based questions, main idea questions? So in a situation where I'm not getting this correct, obviously my concepts are not good and I don't know how to approach this kind of a question. So I need to go and look at a video which is focusing on this particular concept and understand how to approach this question and do maybe 5 to 10 questions on the same times in order to be able to achieve accuracy. So this is as far as the overall knowledge aspect is concerned. So this is what is known as a knowledge analysis, but we also have to do what is known as a skill focused analysis. So how are my skills focused and how good are my skills? So what is the difficulty level of the questions? Am I able to gauge what is the difficulty level of the question? Or am I just going into a question and halfway through realizing that I should not have done this question, but I've already wasted precious 5 minutes upon it? Length of questions is definitely not an indicator of whether the question is easy or long. Sometimes there are questions in algebra which are very, very long, but it's not necessary that they are difficult questions. So don't make those kind of poor choices. Your practice, your understanding of mocks should give you enough strength to be able to gauge whether this question is easy, is it medium, is it difficult. Should I be doing this or should I be skipping this particular question? Secondly, what is also important is that you have to understand what is your attempt rate. This is something that what is your accuracy rate? These are something that you need to gauge with, and you also have to see that you put in enough practice. Now also, what is the time which is being spent on each question type and how you can improve your accuracy. It is a good idea to know what is the time being spent for each question. So sometimes, there are students who are doing a reading comprehension passage and they get so lost with the details of the passage that they don't have a control over the timing, and a lot of time has elapsed, maybe 10-15 minutes. एक ही RC हुआ है अभी तक and you haven't even completed it. So that is why you need to see that you are focused on the skills and you're also focused upon the knowledge analysis. So these are the two types of analysis that you have to be focused upon, and you have to look at the nuances and you have to go deep into your analysis to be able to understand, right? Yes. Now, how many mocks should you take is again an important question. Many students will ask me. As I started off by telling you, I have known students who have done 35 to 40 mocks at least before the examination. But again, as I told you, this is very, very relative. It depends from student to student. If you're a weak student, you will take more. If you are a good student, then maybe you don't need to take as many, right? So initially, guys, you will start off by taking one mock in 2 weeks. But now we are past this stage because we are already in the month of October. So what is it that we need to do now, guys, is one is that we have to find time to practice. So the practice has to be very, very intensive, and the practice should be of sectional tests, and the practice should lead towards a mock test. So you don't go into a mock test without being prepared. So if the day before the mock test or during the week before the mock test, you have to practice enough so that you are competent enough to take the mock test. Because if you have forgotten all the concepts, you have not read the basics, and you're just going into a mock test, you will do a very, very half-hearted attempt. And that is why it's very, very important to prepare for every mock test. Understand the questions of application of concepts, read, learn, and do consistent application also. So the bulk of the preparation has to be practice. What you can do is you can schedule your mock tests every Sunday morning. So every Sunday morning you will set aside for your mock test, and this is going to be a replication of the test that you are taking on the day of the examination. So you can make this a very, very structured habit, right? See that you take this test every Sunday, same time, say at 10 a.m. and you will not be dealing with the stress on D-Day. It will be very, very easy for you to take it, and take it in one sitting. So you cannot be doing a situation where you finish with the VA section and then you move around and then you come back and then you do the DI. No, it has to be done in one sitting itself. And if you're going to make this a habit, then what is going to happen is that you will see a steady improvement in your scores from mock test to mock test that you are taking. So every week one test, and then all your study and preparation during this particular week should revolve around the mock test. Now, analyze what has happened in the mock, do a feedback of the concepts clearing. Okay, you also have to practice weak areas. And also what is important is see that you have enough time markers. Every time sit with a stop clock. See that you are spending enough time per question. Do not go over the designated time, and don't take it every day. So if you're taking a one mock test on a Saturday, there is no point taking another one on Sunday, because between Saturday and Sunday you should have done a review in your mind of what is that went wrong, what could I have done better, so that, as I told you, the trend has to be an upward trend, and this trend has to emerge on your matrix that you have put up on your pin board on your study desk. So there should be at least a 5% increase from one mock test to the other. And if you don't have time in between to analyze, to think, or to ponder over what is it that went wrong with this particular test, there is no point simply randomly taking test after test. So see that you have a stop clock, see that you have time to analyze your questions, and you are good with analysis, and you are able to arrive at a situation where you are able to say, okay, this is what went wrong and this is the strategy I'm going to change, so that by the examination you will have some kind of an idea of what is the skill and strategy I'm going to take on the final day of the examination. What is it that personally works for me, not necessarily works for others. And this is what you need to do, is decide on the number of mock tests. If you're already doing fine and you see an increase, then you are good. But if you're not seeing an increase, then you have to do more number of mock tests. For some students, since we have only maybe 6 to 7 Sundays, you can also look at a Wednesday during the midweek in order to do a mock test, because we are already on the threshold of the CAT examination, guys. So, but between one test and another test, see that you analyze, review, read, practice, and then see that you are marked improvement from test to test. Do you need to prepare for a mock test? Yes. As I told you, during the week, the entire week is focused towards practice. Practice, analyze, read, learn, understand the concepts. So as I told you, you have to definitely prepare for a mock test. Don't go into a mock test because you feel that I've already done the basics and I need to take mock test after mock test after mock test. It will not help. Every time you prepare, you have to see a marked improvement. So from between one mock test and the other. So if this is the start date and this is D-Day, right? So today, if we are in the month of October and we are at October 8th, then how many tests am I going to take? How regularly am I going to take? And is there an improvement from one test to the other, is something that I have to do in a very tabulated form and methodical form, so that I'm able to reach my goal successfully and without having any stress on the day of the examination. Why are mocks giving mixed results? Yes, many students wonder, and they are quite perplexed by the fact as to why the mocks are giving us mixed results. The reason is because the difficulty level of mock tests is very different from one mock test to the other. So there are some mock tests where you do very well and you're very happy, and there are days when there's a slight dip in your tests. But it is something which you should not bog you down. It should not worry you. Why? Because of the fact that these kind of things are quite common, because supposing there is one particular mock test which has given you easy VARC questions and you are good with VARC, you will find that mock test easy. While another student who is good with DILR will be fine with that but not fine with VARC. So don't get any kind of misgivings when you're taking the mock test and you get mixed results, because that is something all students experience. Over the last 17 years of my teaching experience, I have seen students feel that, having come to the month of October, now every test should be only an upward swing. It's not really necessary. But the point is that the mock test is preparing you for every possibility, every kind of question that you can think of under the sun. And since you have done sectional tests, you have done all the PYQs, and now you're doing the mock test, you should be good, and that is the best preparation that you can think of on the day of the CAT examination, guys. So I will end my lecture here and wish you all the best with all the mock tests, and I hope I have answered all the questions that students are being bogged down with as far as the mock test series is concerned. MBA 2021 mock test marathon is available. This will be a last push to your preparation. We have 2 full-length mock tests for CAT per week. There are 3 sectional tests, 2 full-length mock tests for UMETS per month, and a detailed video analysis of all. So for 6 months, guys, you have to pay 4,300 rupees per month. And then we have a special class coming up very soon, and that is going to be on the 12th at 11:30 p.m. and that is October. So I will see you in a special class. Special classes are great because, guys, they are very interactive classes. You have polls for learners. Anytime, anywhere you can take your test. You never miss a class, and you also have lecture notes. So hoping that you will join me on this particular special class on the 12th at 11:30 a.m. not p.m. guys, 11:30 a.m. and you can unlock with code 10. Subscribe, like, share. My referral code is code 10, and that is the end of today's lecture. Thank you. All the best. Bye bye.